Get Into Geek. This is episode 126. We're talking Stargate SG-1. 3 veteran fans introducing one new viewer to the show. One episode each and every week, each and every podcast. My name's Mitch. Joining me, the full Get Into Geek team, Matty.
Yo.
Brendan.
G'day, mate.
And our first timer, Rhys.
G'day, guys.
This week we're talking about Paradise Lost, Season 6, Episode 15. Let's go back to what we always do, to the old synopsis of the episode from 15 odd years ago. See how it reads, throw it over to Rhys, and see what he thought of the episode right now. Colonel Maybourne visits O'Neill and claims to have a key to a cache of alien technology, but demands a presidential pardon for his crimes in exchange for the knowledge. When SG-1 accompanies Maybourne to retrieve the cache, they find that his intentions may not be all they seem, which should come as a surprise to no one because it's Maybourne. And who would have thought they would have used the word cache twice in one little paragraph? Rhys.
I like that you go cache, not cache.
Cache.
Like cache of what? You know how sometimes Americans go like cache of weapons? Cache of weapons?
Yeah, Americans do a lot of weird shit like that.
Yeah.
They say herbs.
Herbs,
Herbs.
yeah.
Graham.
Pergola instead of pergola?
Pergola.
Pergola.
Never heard of that.
Pergola.
Graham. They call Graham.
Graham. Or
And,
Craig. The word
Craig.
Craig.
Yeah, Craig.
There's no
Craig.
E in there. It's not Greg with a C. I was thinking, they've invented a new name in America.
Yeah.
No, it's
No,
Craig.
Yeah.
They do hate the letter
Craig.
H a lot, don't they? Like you said there with herbs and human.
Yeah. We're fancy.
Human.
People say
We don't pronounce
the human
the
race.
letter.
What letter? Oh, I can't pronounce it. Yeah, look,
One before I.
when this episode started, I was pretty excited. They mentioned the furlings. I thought, holy shit, we're going to mention we're going to see the furlings. This is going to be. I did love O'Neill's little quip about them, but yeah, and towards the end, I'm like, okay, it's getting on. Can we meet the furlings yet? What's going
Like
on?
we're at the 30-minute mark.
Yeah,
And then
I've
it just-
been thinking that for a bit too.
It just ended. And I'm like, it started out so good, man. It was full of wonder. It was awesome. I was like, shit, what's going to happen? This is so cool. And then nothing.
Are you able to translate any of this, Jonas Quinn?
It's not ancient, but it's definitely a language belonging to one of the races of the Ancient Alliance.
Nox? Asgard?
Furlings.
Oh,
Asgard.
not those guys.
What?
Oh, I don't know. I just can't imagine cute little furry things making big, powerful weapons. That's all.
I don't even know what they look like.
Furling. Sounds cute and fuzzy to me.
Absolutely.
So that's Robert C. Cooper there writing about his own writing.
Oh, look, he writes comedy.
I know how to write O'Neill.
Believe me. I can write funny O'Neill.
I think if using comedy with laughable, that's
I think he's confusing comedy with laughable.
Well, he wrote The Fifth Race, as we all know. And,
Well, do you want to know? Oh,
yeah.
sorry, you go.
No, I was just saying the Torment
Torment of Tantalus.
had the great races, but we didn't know the names yet. So he wrote The Fifth Race. So he had weeks to come up with good names, but he came up with furlings and decided to pay out the furlings in his own episode later on.
He had a year, didn't he? The 5th race was season 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even thinking of the concept, surely he had time.
Is this like the darkest episode we've seen tonally? I feel like it gets pretty kind of like dark and creepy with like all the whole Jack and Maybourne kind of on the planet. It gets kind of creepy. The music in particular makes it feel really, really creepy.
Yeah, who
to
directed
me.
this?
William Garrity directed this one.
We've seen him before.
Yeah. He's fairly
Hero.
I loved the when O'Neill and Maybourne were trying to kill each other, and O'Neill. It was like I don't know. It reminded me of like one of those jungle scenes in.
Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah.
where it's just like the close-ups, following him with the camera, and then close up to the face while he's like it's just a sort of
There was
silent, but you can hear him breathing.
There was that cool
getting the
shot
barrel of
too
a
where
gun.
they had the kind of the bright colouring scheme, and then they did like a pan shot or a dolly shot, and then the colour shifted into like more of a grey.
Grey, yeah.
Yeah, like that bleach bypass
Yeah.
kind of.
And that was
look to
obviously
it.
he's high now on this grass
Whacked out
wheat
weed.
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Weed whacker.
Which was another Robert Cooper. Like the reason they mentioned it being like arugula is because Robert C. Cooper hates arugula. So it's another great one. But the thing
And for you, like we're talking about Americans, for Australians, that's rocket.
Oh,
Right.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Rocket, another one of my nicknames.
Here's the weirdest thing. So for me, this is probably the darkest it's been since like Jack was talking about like his kid who offed himself with his own gun. Like it hasn't been this dark in a while. The idea behind this episode was literally Cooper saying, "Wouldn't it be funny to trap Maybourne and Neil on a desert island? Wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it just be a
guess.
fun, lighthearted romp?"
And then they just murder each other.
And then it turns into this, and I'm just
Wow.
like, really?
I remember really enjoying this, and the reason that I do is because of the dynamic we have with Jack and Maybourne.
Yeah.
It's
And
great
it
to
is
see
amazing,
Maybourne back.
because it's been building up to this point for seasons and seasons now, where Maybourne's been a bit more on our side, and so it's kind of really come to a head here, and then obviously the drugs set them over the edge because
Yeah.
they're trying to kill each
I
other.
think this is a
Literally.
fan favourite for a lot of people. I think it's very, very popular in the fan base. I think you just need to be in the right mood for it. If you're
Yeah.
not in that serious kind of mood to sit down and watch a serious hour of television, it kind of just gets a bit...
I think there's the last few episodes that Maybourne's been in, the dynamic between O'Neill and Maybourne has saved the episode.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that because that's one of my notes here is Maybourne, less of a dipshit, more lovable.
Yeah.
And I think it suits it. Because
Still-
he hasn't changed his character.
No, they still hate each
He's
other.
still a bastard
Well, if you
and
go
a
back
backstabber.
to when he first came in, he's just pretty straight up and down dick.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
sleaze, he's a
Like, there's
sleazebag when we first meet
there's
him.
no other dimensions to
Back
his
in like,
character.
what, Bane, I want to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he was more nasty than fun-loving, I guess.
Yeah. I just think they missed a lot of the main story beats in this, in that the arugula was sending him nuts. And then apparently that little circle book that Jack found was actually really important to the plot, but it was so aged they couldn't get a proper shot of it. Apparently there was a lot of information
Right.
in that book.
Right.
Because it is a big jump.
He was there for a week before he picked it up and read it. Like, he
Yeah.
found it the first moment he got there.
Yeah, and then all they're kind of doing is he's just walking around marking on the book whenever he finds a body,
Yeah.
like around the circle of the page, and then he finds one body with a symbiote skeleton in it. And
Oh, is that what that was?
yeah, that was a
Yeah.
Goa'uld symbiote
It was a Goa'uld.
skeleton.
Oh, right.
So suddenly he figures it all out. Something went wrong. The Goa'uld did this, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, how the hell do you know that? Like Teal'c's not here to be like, oh, they fell. There was a struggle. There was all, you know.
Yeah.
He just figures it all out in that one little
I
thing.
did
and
not
I'm
pick
like,
that up because that's what when he
yeah.
goes, oh, it was a Goa'uld. He couldn't get a weapon through, so he brought plants.
Plants.
And I'm like, well, first of all, how would he know that he couldn't get a weapon through? Can they get back to where they came from?
Yeah, that's true.
And how would he have found that out?
Yeah, because we got picked up by a
Cargo ship.
cargo
Yeah.
ship at the end, weren't we? So yeah,
On the
there's
There's no way he should have known that.
and what
And then what did he plant? That plant, and then it grew everywhere. And then people just like, oh, not
see.
all these other plants, but this plant we can eat.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, what is the how?
it was.
I think the weird thing for me was, sure, he was looking at that skeleton. He picked up the dead Goa'uld inside it and looked at it, and then he was kind of putting two and two together. He looks over at the mysterious hallucinogenic plant, and he's like, "Oh, that's the plant that killed them." And I'm like, "Hang on a second. What are we calling the decomposition rate of this plant? If the body's dead and it's decomposed to a skeleton, yet the plant he was eating is still chilling there in his hand."
yeah,
Like, surely that would break down that plant if it's not connected to a root.
Oh, in the
nice.
skeleton's hand.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Why is a
Yeah.
skeleton holding a plant? That'd die.
It was a big jump, and there was just, I think there was the big bits of information missing from there. And yeah, Rhys is right. It's like, well, how if the Furlings, if that's their thing, we don't know why they go to that moon. Why do they travel through that little doorway to go to the moon, and the moon turns invisible?
Yeah.
And then
No, I just think it was just... It's almost like it's on the other side of the planet. And
Well,
they never
Carter
see
said it was invisible.
yeah,
She didn't say we couldn't see it.
that
She
was
said
the
he
whole
was
point.
invisible.
the moon goes
What?
invisible. So
Really?
you know what?
Yeah.
No, I
When
didn't
they
pick
went-
up on that.
when
She
they-
said we were there on the first day and we saw it, and then we never saw it again. I didn't think she said it
No,
turned
she said
invisible.
it was invisible for the rest of the time we were there.
Yeah.
It wasn't visible, or it was invisible.
I thought she said it was invisible.
Well, I assumed
Maybe
it
she
had
said
to
it
have
wasn't.
been because
I
of-
thought she said it wasn't visible, meaning it was on the other side of the planet.
Right.
Well, that's convenient for them to go through that little doorway at the same time it moves
Well,
into
no,
a
because
different
remember
orbit on
it
the
went
planet.
to night time. There was that kind of cut cutaway scene. It went to nighttime on the planet, and then they could see the moon. And then it came back today, and they couldn't see it obviously because of, we can't see the stars in the daytime.
Yeah,
Inconvenient timing for me.
But then they were there for a week. That scientist said.
Yeah, and remember they had a cargo ship do a flyover of the entire planet.
Yeah, that was the most annoying thing for me.
And didn't find anything. So the Tok'ra scanned the entire area. So you think they would have picked up if there were life signs on the moon as well.
Yeah.
Well, so to me, that's why I
that's
thought
an
the moon was
inhabitable
invisible.
moon. Should I check that? No, they said the planet.
Yeah.
So come back in a month and pick them
there's
up.
a lot of little
fucking dumb.
Yeah.
All the acting and all the great O'Neill Maybourne stuff was fucking excellent.
Oh.
And I loved all of that, but it was just that, the kind of storyline made no sense.
Yeah. Not to mention, on top of all the amazing Maybourne O'Neill stuff, all the great Carter scenes of her going hardcore, bitch 5,000 because she's so guilty.
Yeah.
Because it's like Maybourne, you could tell like the subtext is like she feels good because Maybourne stole her weapon.
Yeah.
It's totally Carter's fault, the whole thing. It's like he got her weapon, got the device, Jack and him went through it, and she's like, I'm the scientist here, I've got to figure this out.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that, she's in love with Jack, and she's like the whole breakdown with Teal'c in the change room.
I got to say, that was so impressive, that scene with Teal'c in the change room. The lighting was a bit weird, but but when he came in and sort of, I guess I'll give you a hug, and she straight away just turned around, latched onto him, and just held him. As in, like, you're the last one of the SG-1 team.
She brings up Daniel. She's like, I just lost Daniel.
I thought, wow, like she, like,
so good.
great scene.
I liked
And
it when he opened the locker room door and she's like, Teal'c, this is the women's locker room, and I was expecting him to go only for another 20 minutes. How they did
Time's
it
up.
in Hathor. And he's like, well, you're fully clothed and there's no one else in there, and she's like, yeah, fair enough. But I'm like,
all right.
did you know she was fully clothed before? Are you trying to get a peek?
He didn't knock. He just walked in and stepped in.
But
Major Carter.
the worst part for me was then all that amazing Carter stuff. There's no resolution to that. She has no resolution with Dr. Lee. We don't see her reuniting with Jack or anything like that. And apparently Cooper said he didn't see the point. He didn't think it was important because we as the audience know how Carter and Jack feel about each other, so we didn't need to see that.
Use your imaginations, guys. I'm not writing for you.
Excuse me? Where's Colonel O'Neill? No, I don't see him. Do you? Did you guys find him while I was gone?
We've been here for a week.
I say when we're done here.
With all due respect, Major, I will submit my report to General Hammond. If he's prepared to commit to a long-term analysis project, I'm happy to come back with my big suitcase. But until then, if you'll excuse me.
I didn't really know how to feel during that scene either. I'm like, I get it. She's angry and she kind of was a bit snappy beforehand. And when Teal'c's doing his Kelnoreem in the middle of the scene.
Which, by the way, confirms what we were saying the other week. Teal'c definitely has candles in his backpack.
Absolutely.
He had candles out while he was Kelnoreem.
Yeah.
Oh, they were there for a week. He probably went back and got him. But yeah, I liked it because you could sympathise with Carter at that point because you knew why she was snapping. But at the same time, I was like, that when that scientist started going off at her, I was like, yeah, fully understand it, bro.
Yeah, it was like, how long do you
I'm
want me to
happy
be
you
here?
said
I'm
that.
here to do a report for Hammond. I'm not here to...
was a
Nothing's
little,
happening.
It did seem a little out of character for Carter to be like that. But I totally bought
She
it.
was desperate.
I enjoyed it, yeah.
But I was the same, like, what? You're packing up, no one told you to pack up either.
Yeah, but like you said, he's been there for a week and literally nothing's happened. They've been sitting there for a week.
I was on her side until he said I've been here for a week, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Fair call.
He probably wants to go home and see his family.
He is on the military payroll, though, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A whole week at overtime, 24 hours. Jesus.
Apparently, in the early version of the script, Maybourne actually died at the end of this episode.
What?
Yeah, they're going to kill him off.
Yeah, well, Jack did shoot him twice.
Yeah. I thought for sure, yeah. When Jack shot him that second time, I literally gasped and I'm like, holy shit, Maybourne's dead. Because the way his face lit up and then he fell back, I'm like, shit, that's it. He's done.
Yeah. And then, like so many others, he's just off to live with the Tok'ra now. at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
The Toku's just going to find a planet for him somewhere.
Going to get there. Jack.
I was like, what?
Which is ironic because this is Maybourne's first time off world. Like, he's been an adversary for us for, like, seasons.
Yeah.
This is the first time he's ever been through the Stargate or off world.
Yeah.
Because he used the telecommunication devices.
Yeah. It's pretty full on. With how involved he's been with the SGC and what a, like, thorn in our side he's been, and he's never even been off world.
I just like the scene. I like the first scene where Jack kills or shoots Maybourne after the pig. The kind of hedgehog pig thing comes running out of the bushes.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently that was going to get some more screen time, but they just ran out of money.
Right. But
That was
then
weird,
I
man.
liked Jack's
So weird.
delivery because they were both high, obviously.
You shot me. I didn't know you were there.
I like that. I don't know why.
Stay back! Put that down. You wanted to kill me from the start. Oh, screw you, Maybourne. I was joking. Look what you did to my leg. I set the trap for the pig. With a grenade?
Brilliant.
Where you
Used a
going?
grenade for fishing as well.
Hey! I found some! Stop eating that plant!
Every time RDA goes serious like that, I just believe every fucking word he says.
Yeah.
Like some actors, you're like, wow, he's serious. But I'm like, when he goes, I didn't know you were there.
Yeah.
Like it's like,
he's got that graveliness in his voice.
Yeah.
So
He doesn't need to sell it for you to believe it.
Yeah.
I
natural.
believed it.
Yeah, you never catch
Yeah,
him
that's what I mean.
acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
But apparently with the fishing scene with the grenades and stuff, the director actually just held on for that. So the scene was written to end with the explosion and then Harry just starting to walk into the water, but the director didn't call cut. So Harry just kind of wandered into the water and no one had said cut yet. So that's when he started picking up the fish and throwing them back to Jack.
That's funny.
And then apparently when they finally called cut, the two of them just pissed themselves laughing because Jack had been hit in the face with a fish.
Landed right on his feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that whole scene, like the whole warthog thing was weird. How Maybourne was like, oh, I've been hearing rustling in the bushes and, you know, you could hear people running around or something. We, as the viewer, could hear that. And was that just supposed to be us being in that sort of high with
him? I think it's just paranoia and then, hallucinogenic plant properties.
But it was just a pig.
Yeah, just
But but he goes, there's no tracks.
Just a big honking face pig.
You're hearing things.
See, that's it frustrated me. I think that's why, because I was spending the whole episode waiting for a furling. And I'm like, there's something's moving around, but there's no tracks. Like, I'm so interested in finding out what the furlings are.
Unfortunately, buddy, you're going to be waiting the entire series to see a furling.
We never see one.
You never see a
You do,
furling.
actually.
Furling.
You do. In episode 200.
That's not a furling.
Maybourne, maybe Atlantis, though. You never know.
What a joke.
Well, see, for me, I never thought of that because once he got there, they're all dead. Once they get to the camp, he's just skeletons. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, but he was talking about this utopia, and it's just like a little rundown, like a little fucking village.
Yeah. They died.
So, I know,
like
but I'm like, there's not even a utopia.
And like I said,
Village.
what's the point of it? Like, what are they like? If that was an ancient colony, and it was like, oh, you know, like what do you call it? Not ancient, Keb. If it was like Keb, and it's like people were going to go there to learn how to ascend, and it's like, okay, they travelled through the little portal onto the moon. The moon goes invisible, so they're not disrupted by anything in the outside world, and they could focus internally on how to ascend. I would buy that invisible moon thing.
Yeah.
But we never find out what it's for.
I don't think it was an invisible moon. I just think it was never visible to them during the day.
No.
Yeah, right.
No, well, if you go back and you think once they go through the portal, the moon disappears.
Yes, because
because
reason Carter spots it is because she sees it on the playback. Jonas has been recording.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the day, when you see the big temple and then you see the moon in the background.
Yes, but what I'm saying is once Jack and Maybourne are on the moon, they do a cutaway shot between, I think, when Jack's kind of sitting on the pier fishing and they're talking, it does a cutaway shot back to the temple where Carter and Teal'c are at night time, and the moon's visible. It's like a fast motion, and then it becomes daylight and it disappears. It fades away.
I thought that was from the moon looking out to the planet.
Well, you're not meant to know which is which anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's played for he's
Yeah,
been
right.
transported somewhere else on the planet.
Yeah,
But-
you're not meant. Yeah, you're not meant to know it's the moon until later.
But
Anyway.
I think it's brought back by the line later on where they do say Atoka did a pass of the entire and scanned the entire system and found no life signs
On that
I'm
planet?
in the whole system. Like it's
Right.
scanned
Really?
the whole. I'm fairly certain. It's been a week or so since I've watched it, but I'm fairly certain they said the Toku did a pass on the entire system or something like that.
I just didn't buy it because it's like, well, how did it take a day for the moon to disappear, but in a week later you still haven't seen it? Like if it was just passing around the planet, if it was passing that slow, it would have taken more than
As
a day.
if
for it
Carter
to
would forget
disappear
there's a moon there.
completely. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's f***ing dumb.
Or where was Jonas?
Yeah,
He remembers everything.
Genius
photographic memory.
The only other thing that the whole Carter, Maybourne takes Carter Zat, he zats her, and then he zats Jack. But she passes out for half an hour, and he gets
doesn't.
up and tackles Maybourne into the portal. I was like, hang on, Cooper.
He had a bulletproof vest on.
It was almost like, oh, well, he kind of nicked him on the arm. I'm like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
I think in the audio commentary they're trying to buy that now. They're trying to sell that if you get hit with a Zat like in the center of your body, like the head or the chest, it affects you more than if you just get grazed with a Zat on your shoulder or something like that.
Jesus.
And I'm like,
Oh, they've never sold that. They've never said that once in the whole series.
no. I think they were trying to do it for this episode in the commentary. I think.
Fair enough if kind of Jack had to dive out of the way of the Zat blast. And then as Maybourne's diving in, he climbs back up and jumps at him. That'd make more sense. But he actually shot him. I'm like, come on, guys. There's only one thing we can really say about that, isn't there?
Cooper!
Bloody Cooper.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, maybe you're right, though, with the invisible thing. I don't know. I always assumed that it was going around the planet, but maybe you're right, Rhys, where it's from the moon's perspective that the planet's there.
Because that's what I thought.
But it comes
in the
into view
foreground,
and it fades out. Again, it's... I
in the
don't know.
foreground, it was one of those
Either way, it's confusing.
shaped,
Yeah, the hut.
rectangular shaped thing. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Look, it's poorly written. Well
And
saved by O'Neill and
Do you
Maybourne.
reckon
Yeah, it was amazing.
where they were by the water, it totally looks like the exact same setting from 100 Days?
Yeah. They
Like,
use that all
O'Neill,
the time.
like in the canoe down the
Yeah.
river thing. I reckon that was.
I was
totally
thinking
the same
actually
location.
more of like what's the one where they have the ship Scorched Earth, where they take the dinghy out and put the
Oh, yep,
overload
yep.
the Naquita
Right,
generator
yeah.
underneath.
Yeah, this didn't seem as mountainy, but maybe it could have just been
From
the
the other
reverse.
side.
Yeah, it could have just been the
Yeah.
reverse of it.
I did like that where they come up, remind me of the poppy field in Wizard of Oz, how they come out of that gateway into the flower yard, and they just did Maybourne shout out, Jack! And then he stopped and they look around, and then the camera just sort of pans up and wider, and you're like, shit, what is it? And then sort of goes back and you see the whole field with nothing. And I was
Yeah.
like, I really like that. Just like, that's what I thought. Oh man, this episode is full of wonder. It's like really well directed, but then again, ended up being nothing at the end.
Speaking of Wizard of Oz, I was watching a little video on YouTube the other day with Kevin Smith from Jay and Silent Bob fame, and he points out he's never liked the Wizard of Oz. He's never liked the movie. Tried to get his daughter into it. She wasn't part of it either. She was like, I'm not buying this shit. He pulls up a screenshot of a point where they're about to go into the dark forest and they're attacked by the Wicked Witch or the monkeys or whoever it is. And there's a quick shot. If you look really closely, the Scarecrow is holding a revolver. The Scarecrow has a gun.
Oh, yeah, he has it the whole time. They're going
Does
into
he?
this. Yeah, it's like
I've never noticed that before.
it's like he's holding a gun. I think one of them's holding like a gas pump or something like that. It's almost like it's Tin Man's gear because it's the same silver color.
Yeah, it looks
Tin Man's
like
got his
it's
axe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they just pulled off Tin Man's dick and it's a gun.
And they got a hammer. They got like a mallet
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, it was bizarre.
It was weird.
See, I feel kind of bad because we're shitting on it so much because I do love the whole O'Neill Maybourne stuff.
Well, if it was that's the thing. If it was any other actors that didn't have that chemistry, it would be a shit episode.
It's like that time Peter DeLuise goes, "You're really counting on Michael
and Rick to
Nadier's
sell
chemistry
it.
because otherwise it's not quite frankly, not a good episode. In front of Cooper. I was like, oh,
That's the thing, what we were saying before, how, I didn't believe it to be a utopia. Like, the amount of technology it took to get to that little shit rundown village, you'd expect there to be a lot bigger and a lot better technology in that village.
At
right?
least to cool a temple or something.
Yeah.
Something.
Some way to get back.
What was there, 8 dead people there?
Yeah.
Didn't O'Neill
search
and
the whole moon.
O'Neill and Maybourne just kind of just appeared in a field, didn't they?
Yeah.
They kind of just so it's like, well, how do you get back? Are you allowed to get back? Was it a penal colony? But then they're like, oh, it's a utopia.
Yeah. Yeah, they sent out invites to go there.
Yeah.
Obviously no one responded.
Like, I think it's an episode you've just got to be in the mood for to watch. I think when you're in the mood for it, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
When you're not in the mood for it, it's boring AF.
Yeah, there's a lot of gaps.
It's just a shame Carter spent the whole episode looking on the wrong world.
Oh, well done.
Speed round, let's get through this. It's time for Around the World. We're going to find out what this episode was called in other languages. First, we go to the French. Paradis perdu. Paradise Lost.
Paradise Lost, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I feel like the Italians, woohoo! They've just copied the French, really. Paradiso perduto. They've just added O's on the end.
Lazy.
Lazy Italians.
Unreal.
Speaking of lazy, let's go to the Spanish.
Shit.
En nombre está. Arriba. Pariso perdido. See, they've done the same thing. They just changed the T's to D's.
Yeah, but they sound more excited.
Yeah. Arriba. Da. We go to the Czech.
Yes. Proceed.
It's too many consonants. Zetraseni Raj.
I think it's Rai.
R-A-J with a little
I
thingy
think
over the
J's
A.
a Y's there.
Oh. But then there's a Y on the end of the first word.
Yeah,
What
Y's
do
are
I do with that?
J's.
It's like Shazini Rai. Something like that.
Z-T-R-A-C-E-N-Y. Zinrerai.
I don't
What happened to
know,
Speed
really.
Round?
Paradise Lost, yeah. The Hungarian. Looks like Elvis Presley. Hold on. Elvezed Paradixum.
Right.
Elvzet Paradixum. Paradise Lost. And we finish on the German. Das verlorene Paradies.
Less angry than you usually do. More sexy.
It's sexy this time. The verlorene.
Welcome to Munich. You want a
Welcome.
beer?
Munich.
What is your
forgot how they
safe
say
word?
beer. How do they say beer?
Beer?
Two.
Isn't it just beer with an I?
Bira. Yeah, bira, I think. Isn't
We say B.
it?
What is your safe word?
Liechtenstein.
Oh, eaten mein Scheiße.
It's actually Liechtenstein. You're pronouncing it wrong.
And that's Around the World.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for the Get Into Geek. Harry Mailbag.
Weekly.
Scotty Shaw.
Flavour.
Shawsy. Scotty Shaw sends us an email, long form. He says, "Hey boys, I'm jealous of all these old mates binge listening to the whole series.
Oh, mate.
I only got to binge listen to like 8, then I had to wait week to week." One of the OGs, Scotty Shaw.
Oh, big time.
Original Gators. Had to wait week to week like some kind of arsehole. Ever think of doing a Lewis Brothers podcast or even a Maddie and Low Pitch podcast?
Oh,
That
I
being-
like that.
That being said, I created a subreddit for you.
Isn't there like a whole Maddie and Mitch doing other geeky stuff?
Yeah, we just talk about TV shows. Mitch, we should totally get drunk and just talk about whatever.
Yeah, do that.
It'd be exactly the same thing, just with more slurring from me. Let's be honest. We'd be talking about the same shit,
So Scotty Shaw
but
says
just an
that
hour longer.
he says that he created a subreddit for us guys, r/Get Into Gate. Enjoy,
I
Scotty
tried to
Shaw.
find that, but I don't get Reddit, so I couldn't really find it.
P.S.
Get Reddit.
Gibson Brothers podcast for life. Get
It's really catching on.
Everyone's going to say get fucked from now on. I can feel it.
I can feel it. It's our catchphrase. Get.
I spotted this on Facebook the other day. It wasn't actually directly to us, but it's one of the Stargate Now community pages, and I just thought of Rhys when I saw it. No, it's just a contributor. She just put up a picture of Carter, and it's a little sort of like meme, and it just says, "I can tell what season of SG1 is playing just by looking at Sam's hair."
Yeah, season 4 in that one.
Jesus.
You reckon that looks like season 1 to me?
You're right.
Well, you've just proved me wrong.
You just proved me right, both of you.
Drucifer Jones.
Oh, Druzy.
Druzy. You know, I've got a new
The big
nickname for
nose
it.
Drew.
If it's not confusing enough, I'm going real simple with Druzy. DJ.
DJ Drew.
I mean, it was there the whole time.
DJ Druzy.
His initials are D and J.
Oh, I get it, yeah.
Staring us in the face the whole time.
Yeah, I'm sure he gets
That's
that a lot.
pretty much what
Dick joke.
His recommendation is about. This is a tremendous show covering that TV series based on that movie that you kind of remember. Wasn't Kurt Russell in it? Yeah, that's the one. The wonderful hosts are divided on giving nicknames, but they are great at covering the TV series in hilarious fashion. You won't find a better show, even if you search across the universe.
Oh, Druzy.
I love when they weave that stuff in. That's brilliant.
Absolutely.
We've got another one here from Scotty Shaw, which I think we might have to save and do maybe as like a whole podcast on its own.
Yeah, I think so.
I think there's enough material here. Just
What's it say?
4 words that I think are going to, make Mitch's ears perk up. Stargate versus Star Wars.
Well, Stargate.
Well, hold on.
No,
Not
doing a
was.
Star Wars
Wait
podcast.
for it. The Goa'uld Empire united under Ra for galactic supremacy against the Imperial Empire under Emperor Palpatine. No Rebel Alliance, no Tok'ra, no SG-1 causing problems in this scenario. I think that might be a podcast all on its own.
Maddie
Well,
needs some time to make some dot
If Ra's still alive, then I'm calling the Goa'uld on this one because, as we know, in the last fucking Jedi, those kids couldn't even beat a cruiser.
That's not the
Whatever
Empire,
fuck.
though. That's the New Order. That doesn't count.
Same thing.
We're
isn't
talking
it?
Palpatine era. We're talking original trilogy.
It might as well be the
Oh,
same
dang.
thing. It's just under new management.
Basically.
How dare
We're going to get you all new uniforms.
I mean, I love Star Wars.
Send us your size. New uniforms.
We got
It's shorter than what I thought it was going to be.
Easy, I can do it. Whatever you want.
We accept.
we got something here from Kenny Pricer. It's
Oh, the price dog.
the P Dog.
K-Price.
KP.
As Mitch calls
K
him.
Price.
Good price.
Price.
Neffy P. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up now.
Nethy.
He sent us through a picture of the Spice Girls.
Is that because he saw you doing the stop dance, Matty?
Oh, that came up on my On This Day 5 years ago thing on Facebook the other day.
One of the
Looking
great
for it.
dancers.
Yeah.
Who owns that video, by the way?
I'm not going to tell you.
We'll find out.
Mitch, who owns that video?
You shared
know,
it,
but
so it
Was
should have popped
Scotty?
up on your...
Yeah, I know.
Did ya?
Last year I did.
Yeah, so it should show up on your On This
I'm
Day.
not going back last year.
No, you shared
When
it.
it comes
You shared
about.
it on...
Yeah, but it didn't.
Oh,
I
you
might have
suck.
to pop in an email to bloody Facebook. Great people,
Oh,
by the
they
way.
love to reply to stuff. Anyway, it's the Spice Girls holding up 5 little dots. And then it says, if you want to be on SG-1, better not be Russian.
Ah,
See what you did there.
I like that. That was pretty good.
God, yeah.
Now, should we address the controversy?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of people upset about it.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, no episode of Stargate for Stargate Sundays.
It was our first episode that we skipped in how long? A couple
I
of
think
years.
since season 4, I reckon, was the last
4?
time we...
When was it that early? I mean, late.
Yeah.
Recent is the word I'm looking for.
Was it?
Season 4?
Yeah, because remember I said, I think at the end of season 5, that was our first season that we've gone the entire way without
Right.
No.
missing a week. So we did
People
put,
blew up. I was kind of surprised.
well,
too.
yeah, we did put up a post, and I think Mitch, you might have been the one that put up the post, weren't you? Just letting everyone know that
He's like, hashtag blame Mitch.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's a mistake.
that was you. That was you.
They will.
there, buddy.
They'll do it.
You know, and Mitch is like that. Mitch will take one for the team. Hell,
Mitch is like that. Mitch is like that.
Oh, yeah, I actually
like it.
requested changes so it was more specifically about blaming me for one that we'll touch on.
yeah, he, Mitch will take 4 or 5 for the team like
I
that.
kind of mentioned it last podcast, but full disclosure, we all turned up at 7:30 to record, and the three of us turned up, but Mitch didn't. He's got the keys to the studio. Said not coming.
I'm not coming.
Okay.
It wasn't not coming. It was.
I'll get some chick to walk you in and push record. Don't f***ing touch anything, you
Well, yeah.
Wash your hands.
We've been told we're not allowed in here
It's
without
very
him.
clean.
But
But you
that
know,
was fun.
don't blame Mitch. Blame his kids. They were crook. You know.
You can't blame kids, mate.
Exactly, that's
Well,
the thing.
give
So
it a
now,
nudge.
now anyone who's had a go at Mitch is going to
Hashtag
feel
blame
like a
Mitch's
dog.
kids.
The chick that would have let you in on the door was just on TV.
Oh shit,
Oh, that's weird.
That's
really
weird.
Anyway, some of these people who showed their pure disdain for Mitch jumped on, which for me it was just amusing because of some of them were quite creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Tate Myers obviously hasn't caught up because Tate said, "Good, a week more time to catch up."
Selfish, Tate, if anything.
Yeah,
I thought Mitch was doing him a favour. Selfish.
Dan J. Murphy's written, "What the hell do I listen to whilst cleaning my flat now? Mitch, your father made you wrong."
Oh, Rhys is like that one.
I think I laughed at that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I actually did like that because someone else copped that besides me.
Jess Pizzle writes, "Lewis."
Like
Yeah,
how we
I
say
feel it's a
Cooper.
Cooper thing,
That was a good one.
Yeah, and Heather Donovan writes, "Damn it, Mitch." And Heather wasn't happy with that because the next day she replied again, "Damn it, Mitch."
The next day,
Russell, how do we pronounce it?
Kotajavi.
Russell Kotchiavi writes, "I hope Mitch stubs his toe."
That was my favourite.
Me too.
Thank
That
God
was
you
brilliant.
didn't say step
That was
on
my
Lego.
favourite.
That would've
Yeah,
really
that was the
hurt
next
my
step.
feelings.
Just the next time you stub your toe, you're going to be like, "Oh, that's because I missed that podcast."
Yeah,
God.
I think
I deserve this one.
if we'd gone 2 weeks in a row with no podcast, there would have been like, I hope you step on Lego.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit. Oh, Jesus. Wouldn't wish that upon
Yeah.
my worst goa'uld.
And Nicole George pointed out us if we were too hungover from Eurovision.
That's funny.
If I knew what that was.
I actually watched Eurovision, so I
Eurovision?
that. Yeah, the Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, that sounds boring.
Oh, it's a bit of fun. Have a few drinks, laugh at some Europeans making a fool out of themselves.
Right.
Now Australia's in it too.
Australia is in Eurovision.
Yeah, they've been in it for years, mate.
Well,
Yeah, Guy Sebastian was on it, wasn't he?
don't
Yeah,
look for
like
logic.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam Pang was on it.
Nah, see, here's the problem. They got
What?
rid of Sam Pang and Julia Zamira, and I hate because they were the best because they were really sarcastic and they would like Sam Pang would make fun of Eurovision and Julia Morris would as well, but she also knows like 5 different languages, so she was really like interesting and had a lot of insights. And then when Australia started,
Oh, what else is boring? No wonder I don't f***ing watch Eurovision.
No, here's the problem. And then when Australia started competing, those two said, we're not going to do it if we can't make fun of it. So they got friggin' Miff Warhurst and Joel Creasy to do it, and their commentary is some of those boring crap you'll ever see in your life.
Good times.
Yeah.
Derek Archer also says, I'm on holiday. My week is ruined. Oh, well, beer it is then.
Shit,
Yeah, fair
absolutely.
alternative for the
Yeah.
podcast.
That works.
Jump on Patreon. You can listen to the Gibson Brothers if you want.
Absolutely, you'll love it. If you love beer, you'll love the Gibson Brothers.
I had a couple of beers for breakfast the other day.
Absolutely. Me too. I noticed you say Heather Donovan wrote, damn it, Mitch, and then the next day she wrote, damn it, Mitch, and then that was just on the comments on that post, and
Yeah,
then
right.
she wrote on our wall the day after that, damn it, Mitch. like Heather was fucking pissed.
I love that.
Oh, that's great.
It is funny.
It's funny.
Felt the third one. Felt
What did you say?
first two water for ducks back. The third one, that's a stake in the heart. That one.
I love it how insincere that was.
Did you feel that?
Yeah, I
you?
did.
Yeah, you got that.
That third one got me. I enjoyed that.
Fell into my waters.
Shit.
It's time to find out if Rhys has been paying attention.
As Mitch slowly dies in the corner, being like, "Can we just go?"
Hey,
Oh,
we're
that
all ready.
actually gave me a bit
No,
of a
mate. He's
boost of adrenaline.
buzzing. He's up.
He's pumped.
He's right here.
Still
Like
got
the
a
rest
story
of
time to
us.
tell.
Right now, I'm just trying to like operate like Jason Statham in the first Crank movie. Just
Oh,
look for
good movie.
oh, great show.
Great show,
he did
Mitch.
so well.
Never heard
So
it.
I don't intentionally do that.
I was hoping you did to annoy
I
Maddie.
thought you guys were
Absolutely.
adjusting.
No, we'll never succumb to
Don't
your...
ask me to
We're
be
married, mate.
Yeah,
But you did it right, and then he.
yeah. Again, like we're married.
Great show.
One of us does something right, and the other one
Love that show.
Love
not so
it.
much.
Never seen that show, actually.
What was the second one called?
High voltage.
Crank 2.
Yeah.
Crank 2.
I
Crank,
was hoping
Crank
you'd
it
say
again.
that.
crank as well.
Crank 2, let's crank it again.
Crank 2, Cranker.
What? I wish they just went back to doing, number 1, number 2,
Yeah.
number 3.
Born Identity, Born Surprise. I don't know which one's first. I have to
No,
I
Google
don't
it.
like numbers.
Same with the Mockingjay, whatever those movies
Hunger
called. The
Games.
Hunger Games. Great movie. I thought it was more of a chick flick. Fucking awesome. But then
good.
I don't know which is 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mockingjay Part 1 and 2 is confusing as well.
Well, not really. That's pretty easy. It's 1 and 2. But that's
Well,
the
I
finale.
know what the order
First
is.
part and the
No,
second
see, the
part.
hardest
Those two.
one for me was the Divergent series because there was Divergent,
Yeah.
and Subvergent, then
Oh, try watching Harry Potter
and then it
now.
got cancelled. Oh, that's easy. I know
is
those
it?
off by heart, buddy.
No, on Netflix they've got them on.
No, I
year
know.
1, year 2.
Sorcerer's Stone,
Harry
Chamber
Potter
of
Year
Secret-
1 would be great.
Harry Potter and the
Philosopher's Stone, Australia,
Philosopher's
thank you, mate.
Stone, Sorcerer's Stone, depending
What
on what
was it?
country you're in.
What was?
The Philosopher's
Stone or Sorcerer's Stone. It's Harry Potter 1. Then you got Chamber of Secrets.
So there's the different title for the book.
Yeah.
No, depending on what country you're in, it's either Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone.
Because in Australia, we don't understand what a sorcerer is.
No, I wouldn't know. What is that?
But
So that's
philosopher.
one.
Is that like a bloody Chuzwazzer?
Yeah.
Sure. Just let me get through the list. Let me go through this.
Bullfrog.
I know, we don't care.
2 is Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah,
3
we
is,
don't,
three
we don't
is
care that
Prisoner
you
of
know them.
Azkaban.
Like, we can
Anyway.
Google this if we want to
5
know.
questions on
You
the
don't Google. That's the problem.
Ask me about James Bond, I'll drop 24 on you. So.
Yeah, 8. That's cute.
Home Alone 1, Home Alone
Tell me-
2, Lost in New York. That's fine. You can put a f***ing thing on the end. Just give us a number.
Tell me about. Give me
sake.
the 800 episodes of Star Trek and I'll put them in chronological order for you.
We get it. You're bigger fans than all of us. Yeah, it's
One.
time to find out everything.
Thank you.
I almost want to get to a that's 3 now just so I can
Me
turn my
too.
bloody microphone off.
We want you to get to the 3.
Get the out of here.
What else is happening?
You're interrupting us with fucking Harry Potter quips.
30 seconds on the clock.
up Harry Potter,
I wanted to see you do it just quietly.
I thought you would too.
Jurassic
Park.
People
Jurassic
sing
Park
like
2.
want to as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Rocky
I know.
1, Rocky 2, Rocky
Jurassic
3, Rocky
It's
4,
the
Rocky
Lost
5,
World,
Rocky
Jurassic
You got
Park.
to go back to our grade 10 joke. What was it? Oh, the submarine World War
Yeah.
II film, U571.
Yeah.
And the
Obviously
sequel.
The sequel, U572.
Yeah, of course.
Duh.
Can't go wrong.
And-
Which one was first? Obviously, it's in numerical order.
And we
Yeah.
covered it the other week, the Canine trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Canine.
2571.
Canine Pie. Private investigator. All right.
time to find out. Yeah,
question
okay, yeah.
1.
Yeah.
See? Now
Did we
I'm all
sing
energized
Did
again.
we sing the jingle?
Yeah,
we did like
Okay.
18 minutes ago.
Okay.
What race?
Sub it in for another
Time
episode so we get the out
Time
of here.
starts after this. 5 questions.
Furlings.
What? What race
You
from
got to
the
change it.
Ancient Alliance were responsible for the gate
Furlings.
system?
Oh, ancients.
What did Maybourne say the plant tasted like?
Rocket.
We're looking for the specific word.
Off.
How long was O'Neill and Maybourne stranded on the moon for?
Oh, a month.
Correct. What was Harry Maybourne imprisoned for?
Oh, he was a traitor.
Treason. Correct. Who rescued the stranded pair?
Tokra.
Correct. What was the name of the plant?
Oh,
What did
come
Maybourne
on.
say the plant tasted like? What did he say? It's a direct quote.
You're good.
Oh, you've missed out on that. We were looking for
Arugula.
arugula. Maddie said it a couple of times.
It's not even a f***ing word.
Well, it is, mate. Look it up in the American Dictionary.
Yeah,
That's
just
what.
ask Robert C. Cooper. He
it's
hates
what
it.
Ergo says. Arugula.
No, he says boobala.
Oh, that's
Oh,
the
it's a
joke.
f***ing play on words, for
So I
sake.
can understand comedy, I bitch. Jesus. We're sitting here trying to crack jokes and you have to just explain them.
All right.
All right.
Rhys, your father made you wrong! You stupid son of a bitch.
I'm really happy we're back to you getting them wrong.
It's great.
There was 1 week where I got 5 out of 5, mate.
That was, we were all
That's 1 week
devastated
too
for
many.
a week.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't live it down. I was devastated for at least 3 days.
But the problem
And then-
was, is there was also like 3 weeks in a row where you were correcting Brendan because he was f***ing up questions
That's
that
true.
I don't
badly.
give a f*** about
And
this
he's-
segment. Hell.
Clearly you don't.
Obviously, I'm creating fan favourite segments. They get old for me. It's like
soon.
Johnny Depp in that f***ing show he didn't want to do. 21 Jump Street. This is 21 f***ing questions I don't want to do.
It's only 5, mate.
Over...
Exaggerate.
over a few weeks. It's 20. and then
Over a month.
and then like I'll
And then
have one before the clock starts.
Yeah,
Jump Street.
absolutely.
Well, that's episode 126.
I do like the segment. I'm joking, people.
Completely.
Obviously, it's my fate.
Just wish you didn't have so much on
I
your
live
plate.
for it.
Shut up and do it. Sci-fi, roll with it.
Like I enjoy writing them when I'm drunk, so that's why.
No,
we
you
can
enjoy
tell.
being drunk. What you do whilst you're drunk, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yes.
Correct.
Gibson Brothers Pod. If you want to jump onto Patreon.
Just more of that. Plus,
Oh yeah, what's this? Look, if your
What do you-
paradise is lost, jump onto patreon.com
Yeah.
/ Get Into Gate. Visit our utopia.
We'll give that one a pass mark, but you know.
Oh, come on, around the
It's
world, guy.
1:22. It's 1:22 in the morning. Let's not get too excited.
otherwise, hit us up on socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search Get Into Gate, a Stargate podcast. GetIntoGate@gmail.com. Send us a long-form chat or a off-world activation.
Yes.
What he said.
The most excited he sounded all night.
_Lewis on Twitter and Instagram. Let's talk some gate or anything. Maddie.
At High Pitch Matty.
Brendan.
Yeah, at the Brendan Gibson. You can come if you want to talk about spaghetti. Big fan of the Italian food.
You're getting drunk.
I believe
right
it's pronounced
this minute.
Italian.
Yeah.
The Thai food. Is that Asian?
Muay Thai, it's
I don't
pronounced.
know.
Boxing. And I'm
Muay
at the
Thai.
Flying Gibson.
I was going, my tie's a drink.
Muay Thai, it's a boxing.
Muay.
Muay.
Where are you at?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week to talk metamorphosis. All of this and more next week.
You're welcome.
Get Into Gate.
This
Yeah.
is the best podcast of all time.
Don't thank us right away.
Voted by at least one listener.
You're f***ing welcome.
Get Into Geek.